Commercial. My name is Akia, and today I want to talk about the 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe like 4 or 5 things that you need to look out for when you are analyzing a commercial casting notice. Okay, so stay tuned. All right, so in a previous video, I have talked about, or probably multiple videos, I've talked about conflicts. Okay, so if you don't know what conflicts are, please look at one of my previous videos. I think I said that I was going to make just one specific video just on conflicts, so people have that to just reference to. Because conflicts are very important when it comes to commercials. If you are consistently auditioning and booking and working in commercials, you really need to be aware of and well knowledgeable of what conflicts are, okay? In this video, I want to go over the 4 or 5 things that you need to specifically look at when you are analyzing your casting notice, okay? So this video is primarily for actors who are non-union, actors who are just maybe starting out in commercials, actors who still may have representation, but they want to become more knowledgeable and well-versed in the business, and they want to be able to look at what they're getting and not just like blind submitting to things, not just blind auditioning for things. Like when the audition comes to you from your rep, you actually want to be able to look at it and analyze it thoroughly and say, is this a good idea for me to do? Is this a commercial that I need to audition or should audition for? Like, is it worth my time? Does it make sense for my career? Because just because you have reps and they're sending you auditions, that doesn't necessarily mean that every audition that gets sent to you from your rep is something that you should be auditioning for or you even want to audition for, okay? But you wouldn't know that unless you actually analyzed and looked at these certain areas so that you can make the best decision for yourself as a person and your acting career, okay? So again, I'm a huge proponent of actors being well knowledgeable and educated in the business of acting, okay? You don't have to be like the perfect person when it comes to the business, like know every single I, know how to cross every single T. That's not what I'm talking about. But you should have a basic common knowledge of certain things, certain areas. You should be able to kind of look at yourself and to be able to analyze those areas, okay? The commercial contracts are on SAG's website. You can go to SAG-AFTRA's website, look at casting notices, look at the breakdowns, read the usage terms, all these things. Get familiar, just like you are getting familiar with different types of commercial copy and learning different types of commercial copy, how to break them down, how to audition for them, different types of techniques that you need to use for different types of commercials. You need to know the business as well. Okay, so let's just jump right on in. So when you are submitting to an audition, okay, you log into your Actors Access, castingnetworks.com, LA Casting, Casting Workbook, Backstage. These are all casting sites, okay? So when you log into the site that you're coming into for the day, whichever one it is, or maybe you're on all of them or a few of them, okay? And you're looking for commercials, you know, you put in the parameters, the search parameters. And some of these sites also email you when there are casting notices that fit you. So whether it's an email that you got or whether you're actually logging in and looking at the casting notices for the day, okay? So you open up the commercials, you click on this commercial for Company Z, okay? These are the things that I want you to look at to help you come to the conclusion if this is something that I want to submit for, I should submit for, and is it something that is going to maybe help my career? Is it something that's going to potentially give me experience in a certain area? Is it something that is going to be a good networking opportunity for me? Okay, so you want to look at these things, okay? So number one, what you want to look at is you want to look at the product, the brand, or the service. What is the product? What is the service? What is the brand? Is it McDonald's? Is it Staples? Is it Burger King? Is it Pepsi? Is it Toyota? What is the brand, product, or service? So that's the first thing you want to look at, especially you being non-union. You want to make sure that you're submitting and auditioning for commercials that are not going to potentially be a conflict later on in your acting career once you're in the union and you're well established, and now you have these bigger commercial contracts, bigger brands coming to you wanting you to be in their commercial for millions of dollars, and you don't want to be in a position where you can't do those commercials because 10, 15 years ago, you did a non-union commercial for a major brand that was in perpetuity. So it could get a little messy. So that's why I want to help actors kind of analyze these casting notices so that they can start to make informed decisions about their career, and also just be smarter about making career choices when it comes to acting opportunities. Okay. All right. So you're in the site, okay? You click on Company Z, the casting notice for Company Z. You open it up. Now, Company Z, what type of brand, product, or service is it? So if it's a huge brand, product, or service, like if it is Pepsi, if it is Toyota, if it is Home Depot, if it is McDonald's, okay? The first thing you want to do is look at the term. Just go directly to the term, okay? Go to the term. The term is how long that commercial is going to be used, okay? If it says in perpetuity, I want you to come out of that casting notice and go to the next one, because you being non-union and just starting your career, or maybe you've been in your career for many years, but if you're moving forward in your career and your goal one day is to be in the union and to work on bigger commercials, bigger projects, and expand your career, you really don't want to be doing huge products, huge brands for in perpetuity, okay? Because again, that may potentially cause a conflict later. So I would just honestly push that to the side and keep looking at other commercial opportunities, okay? So that's the first thing we'll look for. So if it's a huge name brand, then look at the term. If the term is in perpetuity, put that to the side, look at something else, okay? If the term is 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years, okay, that's something that we could potentially work with, okay? If it's a huge brand, product, or service, and it's for 5 years, 6, 7 years, something of that nature, maybe 10 years, I would definitely, if I have representation, I would definitely have a conversation with them, because that's kind of like that's a little bit too much. Now, yeah, I don't really know if those terms exist for non-union. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Maybe they do. They probably do. Okay. But really, you want to look at things that are more so 2 years, 3 years, and 5 years, because I feel like that's more of a safety net for you. So 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Okay. Those are really good terms to kind of accept. Okay. So say, for example, you see a McDonald's commercial and it is internet only commercial, and it's going to be airing for 2 years on the internet only. Okay, so you're like, it's only going to be 2 years. The pay looks really good, even though I know it's McDonald's, and maybe in 10 years when I'm union, I could get submitted for a principal role on a McDonald's commercial paying me 6 figures. So should I take this? The next thing you want to look at is you want to look at what the role is. Okay, what is the role? Are you going to be a principal on camera in this commercial? Is it background? Is it supporting? That's what you want to look at. So all of these elements will help you decide if that's an opportunity that you want to submit for. Okay, and again, if you have representation, if you have an agent or a manager, these are things that you want to discuss with them. I'm not a legal rep at all. I'm not an agent. I'm not a manager. I'm just a knowledgeable actor that's still learning every day, and I have so much more to learn, but I have learned a lot along the way. Okay, so but if you do have legal reps, definitely have a conversation with them and get their opinion on this as well. Okay, if you don't have an agent and or a manager, then you want to really go back to your why, go back to your goals. Every actor should have goals for their career, short-term goals and long-term goals. Okay, so I want you to go back and look at those short and long-term goals and see if they align with this specific casting notice. Okay, because this is a really big brand. Like this is huge. McDonald's is huge. Pepsi is huge. So again, somebody might say that's a little bit OD. Like, why am I going to go back to my goals before I submit to this job? Reason being is because it's such a really, really big brand. That's why I want you to go back to your goals, because if you're unable to analyze within yourself, should I do this, or should I submit to this, or should I not submit to this, then that's what I'm saying. Then you need to go back to your goals and then kind of look at your goals and see, would this align? Does this kind of match where I want to go? You know, so that will be your last resort to look at your goals list if you can't analyze yourself whether you want to accept this opportunity and or submit to this opportunity, okay? The last thing I will look at is, well, actually, let's not even go there yet. Then you want to look at who is the production company, ad agency, and or director. So that's a really, really important component as well, or can be, I should say, a really important component, because you know, a lot of television and film directors work on commercials in the off season. So if you see the name of a really, really popular or prominent director that's working on this, then that might be a really great opportunity for you to showcase your talent, for you to network, for you to be in a type of commercial that can really maybe catapult your career in some way. You just never know who knows who. You know, this is a prominent casting director. You never know who's watching. You just never know who knows who in the industry, okay? If the director is listed, is that director a prominent director? Is it somebody that works on television and film in the off season? Is it somebody that has done a lot of work? Is it somebody that you've heard of before, or if you've done your research on them and like, wow, I really like the work that they've done outside of this commercial. So I think this would be a really cool experience to meet them, network with them, work with them. So again, research skills come into play, okay? The ad agency, the production company, you can also look into them as well and see what kind of work that they do, and maybe some of the work that they have done before with other brands, products, and services are aligned with maybe your message as a storyteller, or you think they do some really, really cool projects and this commercial is going to be something that you've never done before. You never thought that you would do something of this scale, like maybe it's special effects or, you know, something just way off the cuff, okay? Next on the list is usage. Where is this being used? Is this being used locally, regionally, nationally, internationally? You know, that's really, really important when analyzing a casting notice as well. All of these different elements come into play when you are analyzing a casting notice, and they will help you to make a decision on whether you can submit for it, should submit for it, will submit for it, okay? And so again, the top areas in a casting notice that, in my opinion, I think are really, really important to analyze before deciding whether you're going to submit for that audition or accept that audition request is, number one, what is the brand, the product, or the service? Number two, what's the term? How long is it going to be used for? 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? Third, the usage. Where is it being used? Is it being used regionally, nationally, internationally? Okay. Number four, the ad agency, the production company, the director. Who are they? Are they prominent? Have they worked in television and film before? What types of projects have they worked on before? Okay. And number five, the last thing we want to look at is money. Okay. Yes, we love money. Okay. We got to make a living. This is our career. Okay. But money is the last thing that you want to look at on that list when you are analyzing a casting notice. That is the last thing that is important, okay? Don't get tripped up over the money, okay? And get yourself in a situation where in 5 or 10 years from now, you are in a conflict, okay? So that's the fifth thing that you look at, is that money. And you look at all 5 of these and you say to yourself, is this something I should submit to? Is this something I should accept? Do I decline this? Do I keep scrolling? Okay. So I hope that this video was informative in some way, and I hope that you got some sort of gems out of it, okay? And I just hope everybody has a wonderful day. Head over to bookthatcommercial.com. I've got merchandise, I've got freebies, and I am a commercial audition coach. So if you need help with your commercial audition, you can always hit me up. I'm definitely here for you, okay? Other than that, peace.